There you go. Can y'all see me? Sorry, y'all. Oh my gosh. Look, we getting ready to talk about wealth. And you know the devil doesn't want God's people to know about and have and really step into having wealth because he already knows that when God's people begin to step in and walk into wealth, that we advance the kingdom like never before. And that's what I want people to understand. Like I think that sometimes when we hopefully y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Let me know in the comments if you guys can hear me. I hope so. It's acting up. But I see divine revelations. How's it going? Y'all listen. Today I'm coming to break this mindset, this stigma that people talk about when we start talking about wealth. I pray that you guys can see the title. I lost my voice, but right now this is what I sound like right now, y'all. So y'all just gonna have to hear this voice. But we gotta break the stigma that comes over us. Where okay, Tasia, thank you. Where they talk about in the church, where like the money is the root of all evil and all of that. No, where we are right now, what God is doing, and many people, we need wealth to advance the kingdom. So don't let anybody get in your ear. Don't listen to people talk about it, talking about all people talk about is wealth and money and all of this. Let me tell you something. In order to do what God really needs us to do to advance it so that more people hear us, like even StreamYard, this is something that you have to invest in. If you want to reach more people, more lives, more souls, we need finances, we need wealth. And so I know that sometimes people come and they start to talk about money and wealth is the root of all evil. But I'm telling you right now, this word that God gave me today, and I hope y'all can hear me. He's switching up my voice right now, if you can't tell. But this word that he gave me is what many people are about to step into. And if you're not stepping into it in this season, you will eventually begin to step into it. I've had to walk it out. I've had to go through it. And in going through this is what God is speaking and been showing me lately is that at the end of the day, yes, you need wealth. I need my people to have wealth, but I also need them to steward it well. I need them to be wise with it. And there's a process that the everything that we go through, everything that people talk about, the long suffering, the lack, and all of these things that comes with the journey, but that's a part of it. In order for you to get to a place where God can really trust you and he knows without a shadow of a doubt that you're going to take care of it, steward it well, that you are not going to just he's going to bless us with wealth and all these things. But what if you decide, you know what, I'm out the game. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I really want people to understand that part, that a lot of people get to the place and at this point where, you get upset with God, like, God, why are you taking me through all of this? But if we get to a place of wealth, of generational wealth, where the Bible talks about it talks about blessings for obedience and all these things. When we start to get into that place and that space, God wants to know that he can trust you, that he's not, it's an investment where he's like, I'm really pouring all of this into you. And I want to make sure that I can trust you so that when the going gets tough, you won't just dip out and just leave on me. So I really feel that for a lot of people in this season, you feel like, why am I here, God? Why am I in the season of lack, God? Why is so much going on in my life? Why do I have to go through this? If you know what I'm talking about, if you feeling it, let me know in the comments. But at the end of the day, God is just preparing you for where he really is going to take you. And that's where he's been speaking to me from today. We do need wealth to advance the kingdom. I was praying about this. So yeah, we're going live in 3 places. I may not be able to see all comments. I can't see people commented in a couple of places. I see Stephanie. So we're going to get into it. I just cried about this Saturday. I want generational wealth for me and my family. And I'm telling y'all, it is your portion. God is going to do it. But my journey and my walk, and that's why you guys see Journey to the Kingdom, is as if God used me to really walk this whole thing out, see what it feels like, everything that you got to go through to come back and tell people what it is and what we really have to experience. So if you go back and watch my old videos here on my channel, that's what you're seeing. You seeing that walk, you hearing that journey, you seeing the ups and downs. You really are seeing what it looks like to go through this journey and this walk. So I'm gonna pray. So Father God, I come to you today, Lord. Lord, I just pray that you decrease me, increase you, that the words that come out of my mouth are coming directly from you. Holy Spirit, we invite you into this live. I pray that the people who need to hear this word, that are in this season or about to step into this season, that they begin to understand what it was all for. They begin to understand what they had to go through. But and that is not that they had to go through it, but that they just want you were working on their heart, God, that you were working on their moral, their character, so that you could know without a shadow of a doubt that you could trust them with the wealth that you are about to begin to download, this wealth transfer that people have been talking about. I pray that people begin to be a witness and begin to show people and tell people what it looks like and what it's been when they begin to go through the process to make it to the end and get to the finish line. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Oh man, y'all, I meant to fix the Facebook. I'm gonna do it one day. Look, God, I be getting so many words, y'all. I can't keep up. But whoever is on Facebook, hello, share this. If you feel led to share with somebody you know. Again, getting it out to more people. Now, God flipped it a little bit this time. Usually I have a vision first, but this he gave me the word first. So he gave me the word, and this is more like a prophetic teaching where it's a prophetic word, but it's a teaching at the same time because it's basically breaking down what we need in order to get to where God has taken us. So I was minding my business and I had to write some notes down, y'all. So it's a whole bunch and I'm trying to piece it together just because it's a lot with the teaching part of it. So I heard the Lord whisper, the power to create wealth is now. The power to create wealth is now. And I'm in my prayer room, I'm spending time with God. And I heard him say, the power to create wealth is now. And I was like, okay, Lord, tell me more. So he said, my people have the divine ability and creativity to make a living and create wealth in this season. Again, we've been talking about this wealth transfer. But again, I want to break this down, the divine ability and creativity to make a living and create wealth in this season. This is what God is saying to so many people right now. And I got to get people to understand that the ministries and the businesses and the books and all these things that we have been talking about are the things that's going to get you to that place. We're going to get going in a second. But what God has been showing me, it's not like you just going to wake up one day and you're going to have $1 million in your bank account. God could do it, yes. But it says the ability to create wealth. You have the ability to create wealth. And so I really want to break that off of people where some people may wake up and think it's just magic. No, he gave you the ability to create wealth. And that's why our relationship with God is so important. Because as we begin to discover and find our purpose, we understand this is who God created me to be. This is what I'm supposed to do. As you step through these seasons with him, where you discover your purpose, he begins to give you an assignment. He begins to tell you to start a ministry. He begins to tell you to start a business. He begins to tell you to write a book. This is I've been saying this for the last 2 years, y'all. For 2 years, I've been like, what y'all need to be doing? We need to be working on our ministries for 2 years. Now, we here now. So for those of you who you've been doing what you were supposed to do, you were stepping into what God told you to step into. You did the work. You created what he been telling you to create. Many people from those seasons past, you about to see it because you created it. You did the work. And like I said, it's a right now prophetic word for many, but it is also a teaching for people who may not be there just yet. This is why it's so important not to sit on those things God telling you to do. Yes, you may have fear. You may have doubt. You may be afraid. You may have all these things. Yes, it's cool. It's a part of it. But you don't want to sit on this for too long because I'm about to break this down and show you what God spoke to me and what he said. I don't even know what I put at the title. God said, this is how you create wealth. But this is what he gave me. That's why I got to stick to my notes because this is a teaching on top of a word. So in that, he said, he had me look up the definition of create. It says to bring something into existence. This is why you create these things. You create this into the earth. He gives you that idea that you can't shake. See, because you are meant to create it. You're meant to birth it. That's the thing that's going to bring wealth into your world. That's the generational wealth right there. That's the legacy right there. That's the things God has been putting into your mind. The whatever, the business that you're going to pass down. Your kids going to work there. Like, look, ding dong. That was for somebody. Those are the things that's going to get you to that level of wealth that many people are waiting on. So he led me to Deuteronomy 8. And we know this. We've read this before. But he told me to read it today because just in case you guys forgot, remember the Lord your God. And what he began to speak to me is that people who are about to step into this season, you're about to step into this place, you're about to step into what this land, the promised land, Canaan. Remember Lord your God. But let's break it down. It says, every commandment which I command you today, you must be careful to observe, that you may live and multiply and go and possess the land of which the Lord swore to your fathers. And you shall remember that the Lord your God led you all the way these 40 years in the wilderness. Y'all, he broke this down like this is why you have to go through it. Stay with me. Led you all the way these 40 years in the wilderness to humble you and test you. Right there, he's telling us right now. The reason that the reason that you're going through it right now, the reason that you had to go through it, the reason that it's been so tough, the reason that you had to deal with the spiritual warfare, the reason your whole world is upside down is because you had to go through the wilderness to humble you and test you, to know what was in your heart, whether you would keep my commandments or not. So he basically saying, yes, You had to go through it for a reason. I put you through it. And a lot of people are in this season. I can feel it with the ladies that I work with. It's just like, why am I dealing with this? As soon as I said yes to God, all these things happened in my life. Yes, to humble you. Because at the end of the day, I say this all the time. When God gets to a place where He about to elevate you, He about to put you on the stage, and it's all about you and you showing up and you in the lights, and it's all about your name and everything. No, He gonna humble you before He puts you in that place. He'll humble you before you get to take God. Like before you take off, before you become this eagle, before you step into the light, before He does all these things, He will humble you. Look, I'm talking from experience. I had to live that out. Like that humbling is terrible. It's uncomfortable. You like, man, God, I ain't even do. I've been doing what you told me to do. Why I gotta go through this? How many people here? How many people say that? Why do I have to go through this? But His word says right here to humble you and test you to know what was in your heart, whether you would keep His commandments or not. So He humbled you, allowed you to hunger, and fed you with manna, which you did not know, nor did your fathers know, that He might make you know that man shall not live by bread alone, but man lives by every word that proceeds from the mouth of the Lord. Now I gotta go back, because He said right here, allowed you, He humbled you, He allowed you to hunger and fed you with manna. I mean, I'm not saying people out here starving or anything, but you don't have all your wants probably. You got your needs. You know, a lot of people, they gotta live in the homeless shelters. Like some people they lose their house, they lose their car. That's the humbling. That's the strip away. I see somebody, he humbled me and stripped me. Yes. And we got to be able to sit in there. You know, I was talking to Jasmine. I don't know, for you guys who know me over on Clubhouse, we're talking to Jasmine. And she was like, I can't shake this vision I see of you. She said, I see you with boots on in the ground. It's like your boots cemented in the ground. Yes. Because I ain't going nowhere. Where am I going to go? I done been tested. I done been humbled. My boots are in the ground. My boots are in the soil. They rooted. That's what He's doing to many people. He's getting you to a place where you so rooted in Him that like the roots run deep and you're not going anywhere no matter what comes your way. That's what's happening to many people right now. So if you're going through it right now, you in the strip away. You going through it right now, you in the humble. You being humble right now. You being tested right now. He just trying to see if you're gonna be able to pass this test. Yes, it's not an easy test. It's not a quick test. I tell you that. But when you make it to the finish line, you remember, you get to the point where you remember your Lord, your God. We almost there, but we just gotta, it's as if He wants to remind you why you go through it. He wants to remind you why you have to endure. Let's keep going. Because when I read this, I was like, oh, there we go. This for a lot of people right now in this season. People need to hear this. So it says, your garments did not wear out on you, nor did your foot swell these 40. Oh, and I'm in Deuteronomy 8, y'all. I don't know if I said it. Foot wear out. You should know in your heart that as a man chastens God, His Son, so the Lord your God chastens you. So at the end of the day, it's a part of the process. Therefore, you shall keep the commandments of the Lord your God, to walk in His ways and to fear Him. For the Lord your God is bringing you into a good land. You've been through it. So now we stepping into where you had to go through it. A lot of people like, but God, I started doing what you told me to do, and my life went upside down. I started to build the ministry and the business, and the warfare came like crazy. I started to step into everything you told me to do, God. I started doing it, and my life is flipped upside down. Stay right there. Don't move. Stay right there. Therefore, you shall keep the commandments of the Lord, to walk in His ways and fear Him. For the Lord your God is bringing you into a good land, a land of brooks of water, of fountains and springs that flow out of the valleys and hills, a land of wheat and barley, of vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of olive oil and honey, a land in which you will eat bread without scarcity. So you may be going through it right now, but you're going to get to a place where there is no scarcity. Abundant life, restoration, we talk about recompense, all of that is in this land. So you may be in a place where you're looking around and it's like, God, I'm ready to go back to Egypt. I'm ready to turn back around and go back to what I was doing. I'm ready to start scamming. That was me at one point in my journey. Sorry. But, you know, like Egypt is what you came out of. Egypt is what He already brought you out of. And when you get into that place where you like, I'm ready to go back. No, because you're just wasting time. He like, keep moving because I'm trying to get you here. We hear everything that's in this land. We hear this breakdown of you had to go through it. And when you go through it and you endure it, I'm going to take you to this place. No scarcity, in which you will lack nothing. I want y'all to start praying. When you pray, I lack for nothing. Like, put that in your prayer, because that's what God is saying. A lot of people, I could just feel it right now. The people are just in this place where they looking down at themselves and they looking around, and it's just like it's desolate and it's a lack right now. And God is just saying right now, I need my people to hold on. I need my people to stay put. I need my people to understand what's on the other side. Like, y'all, there's so much more on the other side. She said, I'm ready to start scared. Sorry. You heard me on that part. I thought I said quiet. But at the end of the day, he it's as if he's in this place where he's just saying, it's on the other side. It's on the other side. So let's keep going. It's a lot of word right here, y'all. But we got to get through this because he told me to read it. A land in which you will eat bread without scarcity, in which you will lack nothing. A land whose stones are iron, and out of those whose hills you can dig copper. When you have eaten and are full, then you shall bless the Lord your God for the good land which he has given you. Beware that you do not forget the Lord your God by not keeping his commandments. He started to speak to me and he started to say, when you step into this land, don't get lazy. Like, don't get to this land and this place where you had to endure and you went through all of this. And now you're not praying like you used to. You forget about God. Remember, the Lord your God is the heading on this. Don't get lazy when he takes you into this place. Keep seeking him like you were when you went like I'm gonna drop my pen. When you get to this place, for every person that this is for, that don't mean you lighten up on the prayer. That don't mean you slow down on your time with God. That don't mean that you stop praying the way that you were praying when you were in a season of lack. You in a season of lack and it's all God, please, 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 please. But then he goes and brings you out of that. How many people, I mean, I know that in the fact has, like, people would go and seek God when they were in need of something. And God is like, no, when I start to get you to this, I mean, he going to break that off for you before. Let me stop. Because you're not even going to get to a point where you stepping into this. And that's the case. There is no way you about to start stepping into this. And so we don't have to worry about that. Because he just said no. But at the end of the day, if you start to slip, get back on the horse. Like, don't let the abundance and everything that begins to overflow in your life distract you from what it was. Like, don't forget where you came from, type of thing. Don't forget the lack. Don't forget the struggle. Don't forget all of that, because now God is giving it to you and blessing you. Don't forget him. So let's keep going. And his statutes was I command. And don't fall back into sin. Y'all heard me just say the scamming and everything. Like, you got it, but don't fall back into sin and that lifestyle that he brought you out of. Because then you're going to have to unravel that stuff again that you've already been healed and broken off of you. When you have eaten and are full and have built beautiful houses and dwell in them, and when your herds and your flocks multiply, and your silver and your gold are multiplied, and all that you have is multiplied. So when you start to step into this, multiplication is it. You start to step into abundance. You start to step into where you just like, man, that full restoration that we talk about, you get to a point where it's like, man, I understand why I had to go through this. I really want people to start to look at where you are right now and start to say, you know what, I'm here right now, but I won't be here for long. I'm not going to stay where I am right now. And so many, he began to show me, like, my people are frustrated right now. You're not going to stay here as long as you keep moving. One thing my pastor always said, the enemy can't hit a moving target. When you stay still, when you stop moving, when you get frustrated, when you get stuck, when you just get to a point where you are so upset and disappointed in where you are right now, that's when you lose. That's when the devil like, all right, yeah, that's where I want that person to be. No matter where you are, you want to keep moving. If God told you to spend time in his presence, spend time in his presence. He told you to build a ministry and business, keep on moving. You don't know what to do, go back and pray, do something. But in this season, there got to be some movement. You can't just stay stuck in something in this season. We're almost done. And I'm going to break down what he gave me on what it takes to create wealth in a second. When your heart is lifted up and you forget the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt. Look, I read this on probably Sunday. But we talking about Egypt right here. When you, what is that? You get the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. That's it, y'all. Think about the life you lived before this. Like, a lot of people who are in a season where you want to turn around and go back to doing what you were doing. You in a season of lack. You want to go back. Like, where were you before? Probably even more sad, even more depressed, even more down, even terrible relationships. Like, what you going back to? But it says right here, he brought you out of Egypt in bondage, who led you through that great and terrible wilderness in which were fiery serpents and scorpions, and thirsty land where there was no water, who brought water for you out of the flinty rock, who led you in the wilderness with manna, which your fathers did not know, that he might humble you and that he might test you to do you good in the end. Because I'm gonna tell you firsthand, I'm not the person I was before I've been tested, before I've been humbled, before I've been tried, before I went through the fire. I am not that Yahana. I'm a better version of me. You're gonna become a better version of you. When you allow God to just burn it all away, strip it all away, the mindsets, the negativity, everything, the pride, all the things that's inside of us. When you allow him to strip all of that away, you come out like your character is better. Your heart is more pure. Like you come out better. And I'm telling y'all from experience, like I'm not that person anymore. I mean, I'm still me, but I'm a better version of myself after I've had to endure, after I've had to be tested. And that's what God is doing right now. It's not that he just wants you to live in a season of lack. It's not that he just wants you to end up losing it all. It's not that he just wants you just to be miserable. No. But in order for him to fully use you the way that he wants to use you, especially you, Sade, like, grow so much power in you. And I know that for a fact. Like when you begin to get to a place where it's just like, I don't care. Take it away, strip it away, remove it, get it off of me. Because that's how I was. What is it? What gotta go? I don't care. You got to get to a place where it's like, I don't care. If you need to remove it from me, God, if you need to strip it away from me, strip it, get it off of me. So he might test you. Then you say in your heart, my power and the might of my hand have gained me this wealth. This is what the person is saying. They saying, I did this. Like if you don't do it with God, they saying that they were the one that did it. And this is what he led me into. And you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant, which he swore to your fathers as it is this day. Then it shall be, if you by any means forget the Lord your God and follow other gods and serve them and worship them, I testify against you this day that you shall surely perish as the nations which the Lord destroys before you. So you shall perish because you would not be obedient to the voice of your God. Now, everybody want to step into wealth and all of this, but we hear what God is saying. You step into wealth, you step into everything God has. You forget God. You shall surely perish. So you got to make sure that you are ready for that. You got to make sure that you can handle that. A lot of people are upset and disappointed in this season. Don't be. Because God started to show me what it takes to really be able to get to a place where you can create wealth, where you can handle the wealth, where you can handle the provision, where you can handle the abundance. And this is where he led me. He had me go back to that Deuteronomy 8:18. And you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you power to get wealth. But it's not just that. It's that power to get wealth. But he had me look it up in 3 different versions of the Bible. If we look in New King James Version, it says, God gives us the power to create wealth. If we look in the Message version, because he led me in the Message version, it says, God gives us the strength to create wealth. But if we look at NIV version, it says, God gives us the ability to create wealth. And he started to show me, he says, those are the 3 things. That's what it takes. When I start to bless people, we talk about this wealth transfer, we talk about abundance and everything that most people are waiting for when they come out of the wilderness. He said, you got to have power, you got to have ability, you got to have strength, and you got to have power. Those are the 3 things that his people need in order to be able to carry and manage the wealth that he wants to give. So I'm going to break it down the way that he gave it to me. Because like I said, this is a prophetic word, but it's a prophetic teaching at the same time. I pray people remember this. I pray that when you begin to step into it, you understand why you are where you are right now. I pray that this word is really just dismantling strongholds, the mindset that most people have. Like, I pray that that's what's happening right now. I know that's what's happening. But I pray that the Holy Spirit is really getting people to a place of what it looks like to step into what most people are waiting for. He said the 3 things you need to create wealth. The first one, ability. So the definition of ability is possession of the means or skill to do something. And this one is, he said, is connected to your purpose, your calling, your assignment. It says talent, skill, or proficiency in an area. So when we talk about creating wealth, we got to look at it this way. God had you do something. He had you write a book. He had you start a ministry. He had you do something. And you more than likely were doing that thing over. Y'all have seen me on Facebook. You see me on here for almost 3 years now. I'm constantly going live. I'm constantly doing a teaching. I'm constantly doing something because, again, that's the ability, possession of a skill. So what's the skill that God is having you work on? A lot of people get frustrated because you're like, well, God, you have me do this. You have me start this ministry and this business, and I'm not seeing it yet. But he's sharpening up that skill that he gave you. He's getting you ready for it. And when that door opens up, he wants you to be ready. He don't want you to be preparing. Most people, when you're scared to go live, he's just trying to make you a better communicator. Maybe you meant to be a performer. You're supposed to be a speaker, a motivational speaker, whatever. And that practice that's happening as you go live week after week after week after week. I could go anywhere and speak now. I don't care. Like, I've been doing this for so long. And that's why he said he gives us the ability. Let's go back. In the NIV version, the ability to create wealth. So he's going to give you a talent. He's going to give you a skill. What's your talent that God is giving you? What's your skill that he's giving you? And if you don't know, maybe you want to go back and ask him, like, God, what is the skill? What is the ability that you've given me? Maybe you prophetic. You have a prophetic gift on you. That's a skill, something that God is using. And maybe you have a prophetic ministry where you going and you giving your gift away to people, but there's something on the other side of it that's helping you create wealth to advance the kingdom. I don't know what it is, but an ability, a skill. All of us have a gift. All of us have a talent. All of us have skills. But that's why it's so important. It goes back to your relationship with God. Because if you don't know what your talent is, if you don't know what your skill is, more than likely it's going back to God and saying, Lord, show me my purpose. Show me my calling. Show me my assignment. What are the gifts that you've given me? That's found in him. So the first thing he said, the ability, the possession of the means or a skill to do something. So that's number one. The second thing that he said is strength. If we go back to the Message version, God gives us the strength to create wealth. This is why you have to endure. This is why the spiritual warfare is so tough. This is why when you're tired and you're exhausted and God tells you to do things and you don't know how you're going to be able to do it. When you get to a place where you have generational wealth and you stepping into all these things and the abundance and all of it, you got to be able to do it even when you're tired. I was tired today. It's 3:00 in the afternoon. Guess what? I'm supposed to do a live today. You got to have the power. You got to have the strength to be able to do it, to keep doing it. You got to have discipline as well. It's strength, discipline, and perseverance. And you got to ask yourself, if God told you to start going live, to start doing Clubhouse, you do it even if you're not tired. You keep doing it. So a lot of people may be in a season where it's like, why haven't I seen it, God? You promised me these promises, all of these things. Do you have the ability? Have you worked on your ability? Have you sharpened your gifts? Have you asked God about it? Number one. Do you have the strength? Because it takes a lot to manage that. It takes a lot to manage a business, a ministry, to keep up with all of it. But that's why you're going through it right now. Because he's building up that inner strength. Let's look at the definition of strength. The quality or state of being physically strong, the capacity for exertion or endurance, power of and look, another definition of strength is power of resisting attack. We talk about spiritual warfare all the time, resisting attack. Because when you start to step into wealth, when you start to step into that next level, when you start to say, Lord, why haven't I seen it? The devil, he going to come fight you. He going to come to stop you every step of the way. You still going to be getting attacked. But at the end of the day, you got the strength. You got the endurance. He's built that up in you. That's why you're going through it right now. For those who feel like, God, why do I have to go through this? Because he's building that endurance up in you. So that when you get to this place, your boots are in the ground with cement. You're immovable. I said, you know what? It's like an immovable soldier. You're not going nowhere. You're not scared. You're not getting none of that it's not even an issue. So he said, the second thing that you need to create wealth is you got to have strength. You got to be strong. You got to be able to endure. You got to be able to get up every day. And most of the time, when it comes to creating wealth, wealth is created by those little things that you just do every day, every day, every day, every day. Those daily tasks, those little things. Because when people can't stay on like that schedule and that routine, that's something that's throwing off your ability to create it. The last thing he said is rising in me to give up on quitting and get up and do something that will help. So I'm working on it. I've been trying to do the videos. It has been hard to do lately because of the equipment. And just do your best. That's the thing. Sometimes we focus on the equipment, the look at things. Look, I started on the phone, y'all. My videos on the phone. I mean, laptop now, camera now, light now. In the beginning, it was just a phone. So don't worry about what you don't have. What do you have? Because that's what's going to sharpen your skill. When I first started doing these prophetic words on Facebook, it was a phone. I would put my thing up. I had the smallest little ring light. I got a big ring light, all this stuff now, but I had the smallest little ring light. I feel this for somebody. Don't get so wrapped up in not having the thing that you need to do what God has told you to do. Just do it. It's going to improve over time. The video is going to get better over time. Your speaking going to get better over time. Like, I don't call myself a great speaker, but It got better over time. So just understand, you just gotta do it. Just do it. Don't hold up on it. Because that's what's gonna get you to this point. And the third one, he said you need power. So you got the skill, you got the ability, you know what your skill, you know what your talent is. Exactly. What's in your hand, Moses? That is exactly. That's all you need. And I promise you, it is going to improve over time. You are going to improve over time. You're going to get better. You're going to look up. I look at my old videos. I don't even know. Like, why were you all watching that? Like, I mean, like, why did people watch this? It's boring to me. It's boring to me, but I can see the improvement of me sharpening that gift and that talent and that ability. Like now I could just sit on. I didn't really prepare, but this is what God wants. That gift, that talent that he gave you, sharpen it. Sharpen it. I don't care if you go live and there's one person watching. I don't care if you go on a clubhouse room and it's just you in the room. Speak. Open your mouth. Because that's sharpening that gift. Because when the door opens up and it's time for you to come out, you know you're ready. What do you say? I at least do YouTube and Facebook Live page once a week. Yeah, so you sharpening your gift. But that's step one, y'all. I really want people to see it. Like, I pray y'all see what I'm saying. When we talk about the wealth and getting to that place of Deuteronomy 8 ability, because again, it's not just going to fall out the sky. I mean, I've seen God bless me, bank account, all of these things. I've seen that. He will, and he has. But when we talk about generational wealth, this is one thing God has really been speaking to me lately, y'all. It's for people who just get it. They don't know how to keep it. People who just get it, they don't know. It's easy. And I feel led to say this. He's been having me play this game, Animal Crossing. And I play with these people. And they just go and they have people give them stuff. And they finish the game real quick and they're not interested anymore. And I heard God tell me, don't do that. Because what I'm showing you in this game that you're playing, I'm showing you what it looks like to build things from the ground up. I'm showing you what it looks like, what you basically have been doing for the last 3 years. You've been doing brick by brick. You've been getting up. You've been doing little pieces. Y'all, I'm telling y'all right now, you may be tired. You may be exhausted. But you just doing every day when you get up, you just, it's one step closer, one step closer, one step closer, one step closer, one step closer. But you just tapping until you get to that breakthrough moment. And that's what he's been showing me in this that I've been playing. Like, he's been showing me every single day that you get up, every single day that you do something, every single day that you work in your ministry, every single day that you work on your business. It's just gradually building up until you look up. I looked up in the game and I had so much money. I didn't even realize it, y'all. Like I had obtained so much in such a short amount of time. And you know why? I used what I had learned. I was working on the things that I had picked up over time. And that's what he's saying to many people right now. You may not see it right now, but use what you have. Sharpen your gifts. Because every single day you get up, you're getting closer and closer to it. But if you're not moving any closer to it. And I keep hearing him say movement right now. Like, don't sit. If you don't know what to do, like, do something. Go help somebody. Go pour into somebody else. Like, movement is key right now. And I'm not saying go rush and just move. But if you know God told you to do it, movement, keep going. So after you get the ability, you got the strength. You've been through it, you endure. Now you have the strength. You stronger now. You've been tested now. The devil can't play with you anymore. Like, it's over. God said, then you get power. Then you get power. And power, the definition, if you don't know what to do something. Look, I can't see on Facebook, but you do something. The definition of power is possession of control, authority, or influence over others. He said he will give you influence. And it's not about control. It's more so power is where when people hear you, they hear him. When people see you, they see him. When you show up, you influence people. So you don't have to do anything. That's power. Where his power is flowing through you. Because now you just sharpened your gift. You just sharpened your talent, right? All you got to do is decrease me, increase you. Now God's showing up. His spirit is showing up. You don't have to do anything. You're stronger now. You're more courageous now. You're more bold now. You're not scared of what the enemy throwing your way. You're bolder now. And then he said you get power. And then when you have power, you have influence, that's when people want to know what you know. That's when people want to step into, oh, okay, listen. Like, that's when people, the power that comes on you is what's a game changer when it comes to wealth. So possession of control, authority, or influence over others. God will give you influence, and that's the thing you want. Because when he gives you influence people. You show people. But again, he stripped those things away from you, and people are like, man, I need what that person has. And that's when you step into wealth. That's when you step into generational wealth. I'm trying to see. So let me give you the vision, because all my prophetic words come from vision. So the other day, I think it was yesterday, I saw a vision of me and I was picking up a skyscraper. It was a skyscraper that was on the ground, and I started to pick it up, but I couldn't pick it up. So this morning I'm like, okay, God told me pray in tongues 30 minutes to an hour for 90 minutes. If y'all are not praying in tongues every day, I'm gonna need you to pray in tongues. God gave me instruction, and I'm telling y'all, it has been a nonstop breakthrough. You and I've been praying in tongues. If you have the gift of tongues, you pray in tongues in this season. Seriously. So I'm praying in tongues, and I'm like, all right, cool. I can't pick this up while I'm praying my native tongue. I'm gonna pray in tongues today, and I'm gonna see what happens. So I'm praying in tongues, and as I'm praying in tongues, y'all, it's funny. Hold on. I can't draw, but I be drawing what I see. This is my vision. But I can't draw. So I'm praying in tongues, and as I'm praying in tongues, I'm getting the power to lift up this skyscraper. And in the vision, I saw myself pushing up a skyscraper. So he had me look it up, what a skyscraper symbolizes. And this is for a lot of people. If you call to me, a lot of people, you have this anointing or this thing where what God is having you build and create is like a skyscraper. I feel you, Tamika. Who else? I can't really see who's on. But many people who call to me, you got this thing where it's multi-dimensional, multifaceted. It's like a skyscraper with all of the windows and everything. And a skyscraper is a ministry or a person that has built up structure to function on multi-level. A church or person who's with prophetic giftedness, high level of spiritual experience or revelation. So as I'm sitting there, he's lifting up the skyscraper. I'm lifting it up, pushing up the skyscraper. And as I'm pushing it up, I'm praying, and more power starts to flow in me. There's more power, there's more clouds, there's more power flowing through me until I pick up this skyscraper. There's a hedge of protection that goes around it. And as this hedge of protection is being built, as I'm praying, it's going around it. So as I'm scaling up this skyscraper, there's a broken window on it. And I fixed the window. It had to be repaired. I fixed the window. He started to speak to me like it was something with the prophetic. I got to pray into that because this happened today. I fixed the window. I go to the top, and then the crown goes over my head. And I hear him say, put the crown on top of the skyscraper. And then from there was a flag that said wealth. And he started to say, call to wealth. Many people, like, you're going to be called to wealth. Like, wealth, you're going to be the person. You're going to be the kingdom financer that's going to advance the kingdom. You're going to be the person that God uses to go pour into other ministries, into other businesses, into churches. And I heard him say, call to wealth after it. So then after that, this helicopter comes around. And then it comes in, and I try to climb up the helicopter. I get in. But there was like this wall or this blockage that was trying to block me from getting into heaven. And I see God put his hand out to come and bring me higher in the spirit. And so I started praying crazy into tongues, like praying. And then from there was a breakthrough. It went into the clouds. What God is saying right now, in this season, wealth is your portion. But the same way we just broke this down, he's like, I need people to understand that what it is that you are called to build, what it is. We started this out as creator. What you call to create, what you call to build, those books, those businesses, the ministry. I can't keep saying this. Like, I can't. I mean, I'm going to keep saying it. But I really need people to understand that that is your key. Whatever it is that God told you to do, it's the key. It's the key to the wealth. It's the key to the legacy. It's the key to generational wealth. For me, Journey to the Kingdom, that's my key. So right now, he told me to go back and switch things up, change things around. He started to give me the vision, like, hold on, you created and worked on all these things, but they all connect. Many of what God is telling you to do, it all connects. Tamika, motivational speaker, all of the things that he's going on YouTube, sharpening your gift on YouTube, everything connects. It should connect. I mean, God is a God of order. So if it don't connect, I don't really know. He's a God of order. But at the end of the day, I know my book is my key. I'm telling y'all, it's not going to just fall out the sky. The Bible tells us he gives us the ability to create wealth. He started to show me these things that he's telling people to do. I saw it. He said, no, connect the dots, Johanna. You got this course that you need to recreate Because my course is the old Yana. Like, and like, I don't like it. I want it to be me now. I wanted more power. Like, I wanted more authority. So I'm recreating my course. Like, I'm about to film a whole 6-module course tomorrow. I don't care, because I see how it connects now. I see that course, and I see how these prophetic consultations, and I see how that membership program, I see all this stuff is that skyscraper that he showed me. What's your skyscraper? You may not have all the pieces just yet, but you got a piece. Like she said, I know my book is my key. Your book is a key, but you a speaker. I don't even know you, Juanita, but you're a speaker. Now think about this. Her book is her key. She writes her book. She puts it out. Now she becomes a speaker. Now people calling whatever her topic is, poised for purpose. Now we want Juanita to come and talk about purpose. Now she's a speaker. Now she's getting paid for speaking engagements. Now she's flying around. Now she's encouraging women. Hey, if I can write my book, you can write your book. You can publish. Like, y'all, you see? This what it is, y'all? Like, I don't know. I hope y'all not tired of my voice yet, but it's just like this. But that one little thing will unlock everything else. For me, it was a Facebook group. God told me to start a Facebook group. From there, teaching, challenges, I wrote a book, all of the things, the membership program, like, it's a seed. It's a seed. He put all the seeds inside of us. We got to plant it. We got to nurture it. We got to water it. We got to harvest it. It's on us. So I really pray that people understand that when we talk about this wealth transfer, that people understand he gives you the ability to create wealth for a reason. But these are the 3 levels that he gave me: ability, strength, and power. And when the power hits, it's over. Because they hear him. They hear, like, it's him. I'm trying to do this affirmation journal. Yep. So Tamika, like I said, you got the YouTube. You get more comfortable speaking. And that's what he's been showing me for you. Like, YouTube may be breaking down because you question your speaking. You question how you speak and how you talk. And YouTube is you just showing up and you doing it. That's how I was. Like, me, words, like talking, I don't even like talking like that. I could talk all day now. And that's what's happening when you post every single day on YouTube. That's what's happening. So just know that's why you're having some interference with you posting on YouTube right now. Because when you get to a point where you're comfortable in your voice, speaking out and being you, because at the end of the day, God created you that way for a reason. You are that way for a reason. That's the goal. The Lord told me to use my voice, like literally my voice, and had me start a YouTube channel. So I did. I'm telling you, I see it right now, Juanita. Like, it's not just a book for you. You're a speaker. Like, I can do this all day. Anybody can write whatever it is they do. I can do this all day. This is what I do. Like me, I sharpen my skills. Like, but it was in that quiet place, in that place where nobody really knew what I was doing. Like, nobody understood. And you may be in a place, and I want people to understand, people may not join, people may not know you. You may have a great following, and a lot of people who are like, oh man, like so-and-so, XYZ. That's cool. But you sharpening your gifts during that time. You just imagine you got this blade, and I'm getting ready for this wealth. I'm sharpening my blade. Like, really, when you show up and you got 1 person, 2 people, 3, all right, cool. I'm still going to sharpen my blade. I'm still going to sharpen my skills. I'm still going to show up and talk to 1 person like it's 1,150. And I really feel that, because I know I'm called to people who start ministries and businesses. Like, that's what I do in the membership. But I need people to understand that you are sharpening your gifts, your talents. Thank you so much for this. You really helped me right now. No problem, Michelle. Like, I really feel this right now. And I don't even know how long I've been on, y'all. My son is at my parents' house. So I'm just chilling with y'all right now. But for many people who call to me, it's the ability. If you really look at it that way, where it's like, I know God is preparing me for later. I know God is just sharpening my tools and my gifts. Like, if you look at it that way, it's a game changer, y'all. Like, it's a game changer. I wish I had heard this in the beginning for me. I went through so much. I was so upset, disappointed, a lot of just ups and downs, that I pray that God uses me to really help people not have to go through it. It's a funny story. He got me working on this book for being a trailblazer. He actually gave it to me today. But that's what it is. Many people you call to be a trailblazer. If you call to me, most people who hear me call to be a trailblazer. And being a trailblazer, you don't have anybody before you to tell you, go here, turn here, go left, go right. I didn't have that. I mean, I'm that person now. But for many of you, you're the trailblazer. You're the person paving the way. You don't have anybody to go to and say, is this the right way to go besides God? You know, you go to God and he gives you the GPS. But at the end of the day, when you trailblazer, you blazing a trail, and you're gonna help people later on. I feel like I have a few abilities, but not 100% sure what God is trying to sharpen. So for you, Shanice, you're like you're definitely a speaker, but you're more of like a brand. Like you are a brand. What you're called to do and how God is going to use you, you are a brand. You got to see yourself as the brand. Your life, how you live, who you are, and Shanice, we talked about soft life before, but I really see you as being a brand. So who you are, what you do, what you help women with, and I know it's relationships. I think you told me before relationships, but when people see you and they know you and they get to know you, it's still rooted in speaking. It's still rooted in showing up. That's why he has you do reels. That's why he has you do Instagram, because it's still speaking. You got to speak to people to help them with relationships. You can't be afraid, because then people see it. So yeah, it's still speaking. You are the brand, but you showing up and the way God is going to use you is speaking. Me hoping your obedience must keep going to be someone else's help. Look, Tamika, very similar. I'm telling you. And that's the thing, y'all. It's obedience. It's being obedient to what he shows you, what he starts to speak to you, what he starts to tell you. And if you could do that, like he starts to work on you, he starts to prune you, he starts to develop you, and the rest is history. So, see, most times I'm confused on what to do. So think about, I put this in an email the other day. And in the email, what God had started to speak was about when you feel stuck. And we talk about journey to the kingdom, and it's really rooted in like journey and maps and routes. But if you're in the car and you don't know where to go, GPS is going to say rerouting. It's going to reroute it. But it's the same thing in your walk and your journey with God. You want to go back to God. Like, God, I need you to reroute me. I don't know where I am. It's been plenty of times. I'm like, God, what happened? We done been off track. I done went left when I was supposed to go right. I need you to reroute me, God, because I don't know where we are, and I'm trying to get back to where I'm supposed to be. So for you, Afioma, you want to go back to God and say, Lord, reroute me. I know we on this journey. I know we stepping here. I'm a little confused right now, but I need you to reroute me. And that's what it's about, a journey to the kingdom. That's how God uses me. He uses me just like, oh, no, you going the wrong way. You should probably turn around. You should probably go left. Don't go that way. Because I already have to walk through it. That's the name. I've gone through it. So I can see where somebody's going. That's a dead end over there. You don't want to go over there. Like, you probably don't want to go. You probably don't want to go over there. So you want to go back and ask him to reroute you back to where you should be. A brand. Yeah. So Shanice, definitely a brand. And if you guys like this, like that's why this is what the membership is for, where people write things and God will begin to show me. If you guys are interested, I'm gonna put the link here. Actually, I'm gonna tell y'all, because I'm working on everything right now. This is what Journey to the Kingdom is about to be. If you're somebody who struggles in your walk with God, your relationship with God, that's why I'm working on the membership, on the online course right now. Breaking it down, talking about who to call on, everything is about to be broken down from my perspective now, after walking through it, enduring the tough times, the trials, and everything. But the online course is going to break down what it is to really get to a place in God where your boots are cemented. Because when you get to that place, there is no turning back. So I'm working on an online course right now. That's step one. If anybody feels stuck, I know a lot of people have been booking prophetic consultations, but that's more so for people who are in the wilderness, where you do need to be rerouted, where you're confused. Think about the wilderness is wooded. We talk about the journey. You on this trip and you don't know which way to go. You on this trip or this journey with God to the kingdom. You don't know where to go. He uses me for the prophetic consultations to help people reroute. It's all about GPS. Like wherever God allows me to see exactly where a person is and say, hold on, you probably should come out of that. This is why you stuck right here. And this is what you should do to get out of it. So that's the prophetic consultation. The next thing he has me working on is, we had a membership program. So it helps you give birth to what God placed inside of you. So if you know you have a ministry, a business, I know Shanice is in it, Tamika's in it, Melissa, a couple of other ladies who were commenting. A lot of ladies are actually in it. But it's really about birthing what God placed inside of you. So if you know you're supposed to write a book, you need accountability, you need community. That's the next step that he's given me. And then the last step is, I actually had like 10 years of leadership and corporate and everything. He's like, I need you to help my people with business strategy. So I'm building that part out for business strategy. So if you need help with your ministry, your business on a higher level, not just in a membership program, because the membership is more about accountability, some teachings and some lessons. But when we talk about strategy, about breaking it down, and when it comes to your ministry, your business, what things should look like, that'll be a kingdom business strategy call. So he's having me put that skyscraper in order right now. We ain't playing no games anymore. That's it. I put the link up if you guys want to check it out, because I'm working on all these things this week. Because like he said, I said, look, God, you ready? I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Because I'm not playing games. God said, go ahead and get it ready because the wealth transfer is here. That's where I am. I often feel like I'm on the wrong path, but God's saying, trust me, you're going in the right. Oh, Tamika, look, you're right where you're supposed to be, girl. You are right where you're supposed to be. Don't doubt it. Don't doubt it. Wanted to do YouTube videos because I know I can touch lives through it, but I keep look. Well, I film. If you want to join us in the membership program, lots of ladies are doing YouTube there. They have different channels. Shanice is in it. She does YouTube videos. She's on Instagram. So and TikTok. So yeah, that's what we do in the membership program. It's like people who I'm called to people who procrastinate. You may have a low self-esteem. Someone told me in one of my interviews the other day, he said, you have an anointing for discipline and perseverance. I said, yes, I know that. Because he said, when you speak, it's more like whipping people in shape. And I've been like that since I was a little kid. So if you're somebody who struggle with procrastination, getting things done, that's what we do in the membership program. It's really just like coming together and like, this is what you need. I mean, again, it's on you to do the work. Like I can't force you. It's just like a gym membership. If you don't show up, you don't go to the gym, and you don't show up at the gym, the trainer is not just going to come to your house and knock on the door. You got to actually show up. But if you're somebody who struggle with procrastination, you should definitely check it out. So I put the link there in the link tree. If you want to check it out for Facebook, the link is there. You guys can click it. Look, and that's my thing. I've always been strategic puzzles. That's why I play games a lot, because it helps me with strategy and really planning and things like that. So that's my call. That's my assignment. That's what God has me do. But yeah, I think let me see. I'm gonna make sure. So the link tree is there. We talked about the skyscraper. So remember, y'all, ability, strength, and then power. Work on your ability, work on your talent, work on your gifts. When that gets sharpened up, then you've already been able to endure because you worked on it. You're strong enough to handle what God really wants to put on you, because that's really what it is. He starts to put it on you. You start to walk it. You start to step into it. You got to be strong enough to handle it. And then that's when the power comes. Yeah, y'all. She's getting me out of it with the help of the Lord. Yeah, Tamika, look, y'all, get ready. So yeah, Tamika, I can't wait. So let me just pray. I got something to know. So Father God, I just come to you today, Lord. Lord, I just lift every single person who was on this live, who watched the replay, who was in the room, who's on Facebook. I just lift every single person up to you, Lord. And I pray right now that you begin to unlock their minds to show them where you really want to take them. And right now in this vision, I just see people coming out of this door. It's like people were locked. Your minds were locked up. That's what it was. People's minds have been locked up. And I don't know what part was needed for which person, but it was as if I saw people coming out of this locked door. I pray that you begin to unlock their minds so they understand how all the pieces of the puzzle go together, Lord. I pray that you begin to show them what it really takes to get to where you are trying to take them, Lord. I pray that they begin to have their hearts begin to heal from the hurt and the disappointment of not seeing the promises as of yet, Lord. I pray that they begin to have a contentment in them, that they are okay with the process, that they understand that it is a process, that you are preparing them for where you want to take them and where you will take them, but it is just a process. Lord, I pray that they get off this and they Google the word process, that you show them something that breaks down what it means to be processed. Like, that's it, y'all. Process. You're just being processed right now so that he can use you the way that he really wants to use you. So Holy Spirit, I just invite you into this space right now. They begin to experience peace. I pray over their minds that they begin to understand what it feels like to have peace, that they no longer run around in doubt and loss and confusion or anything. We bind the spirit of confusion that may try to come against your people to make them feel as if they can't hear you, you're not with them. I pray right now that there's just like the wind of confusion is just out of their life so that they're able to hear you clearly, that you begin to download strategy that they can implement to begin to step into the next level and the next place that you have for them. I see people, it's like a new land that people are going to start to step in when you get to this place where you just remove all of it. It's like blockages were on people's minds. It was like blockages on people. But I pray that your people begin to experience peace, Lord, peace like never before. And that today was a day where they understand that it is a process and that it is their portion. Wealth is their portion, but it's a process to get into that place where you are going to take them in the end. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right, y'all. So we have 411. I got to do the membership program. We meet every Wednesday, so I got to get ready for. Look, did y'all see this? Strength. Not only do I have to get ready and work all day, but then I got to do a prophetic word. But then I gotta get ready for another room that we do in the membership program every Wednesday at 7. That's strength, y'all. That's power. Like, that's him. So you got to understand, like, to be able to run and do what God is having many people do, it's that strength that you need and that power to be able to for him to really just to do it. So just know, sharpen the skills, get that strength, and step into the power. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. I'll be back next week on Facebook and YouTube for another prophetic word. All right. Bye.